A triangle has vertices D, E, and F. Determine the coordinates of the point of intersection of the medians. So it didn't specify what medians, but all three medians in a triangle intersect at the same point. So it really doesn't matter which median lines I'm choosing. So I'm going to do a little sketch to start. I have maximum x value is 8, so I'll just put that here. I have D is at 8, 7, and F, so let's put that here, and F is at 8, 1. And then E is at -4 and 1. And when I think about what I just drew, I mean, that's definitely a right triangle because these two are, the D and the F are at the same x value. So that's a vertical line there. So this is definitely, and also because the y values here are both at 1, so it's a right triangle. Does that necessarily matter here? I don't know. I'm going to go and draw those median. I'm going to pick two medians. So I'm going to pick the median line from F. I'll do that one, which cuts this in half. So there's one midpoint. And again, I'm putting that visual in there to remind me that median means midpoint. And then I'll do the one from D. That goes to the midpoint of this side, and that cuts that in half. So there we go. In order to find the point of intersection of two lines, what is our method? Well, I have to have the equation of the lines, and then I have to solve the linear system. So I've really got to go and find the equations of these two medians. So I'm going to have to find each midpoint. So I'm going to start with that. I'll just leave the color there. So I have the midpoint here, which means I'm finding the midpoint of, I'll write DE. Okay, so the two x values are 8 and -4. So this is 8 plus -4 divided by 2. And the two y values are 7 and 1. So 7 plus 1 divided by 2. 8 plus -4 is 4 over 2. 7 plus 1 is 8 over 2. So that gives me 2, 4. So there's the midpoint. So I go to my picture. I like to erase that and put it back in. Now I have enough information to find the slope of my F. So slope of FM. So that's F to the midpoint. So I'm going to call this x1, y1, and I'll call this x2, y2. So y2 is 4, y1 is 1, x2 is 2, and x1 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 3, 2 minus 8 is -6, and that gives me -1/2. So there's my slope. Now I can plug that into y equals mx plus b. So there's the equation of my line so far. But now I need to solve for b, so I need to sub in a point, and I'm going to sub in that point 8 and 1. So x value is 8, 1. Doing the math, this gives me -8 over 2. Or if I reduce, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so this leaves me with -4 plus b. And then I add 4 to both sides, so that gives me b is 1 plus 4, which is 5. So there's the equation of my first median line. I'll put that color. So y equals -1/2 x plus 5. So there's one of my equations. Now I have to go do the same thing for the other one. Okay, so I'm going to find the blue midpoint here. I'm going to skip the step of writing the formula so I can get through this. So if we're doing the midpoint of E, let's try to get rid of some of my marks here. So we have 8, 1 and -4, 1. So I'm finding the midpoint of EF. The x values are -4 and 8. So negative 4 plus 8 divided by 2, and the y values are 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 divided by 2. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 over 2. 1 plus 1 is 2 over 2, and that leaves me with 2, 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So there's my midpoint. Let's go to my picture here. This is the coordinate 2 and 1. So now I need to find the slope of this line. So the slope of D to its midpoint is, we're doing the y values, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's start over here. This is y2, and we'll do 7 minus the y value down here is 1, and 8 here minus 2 at the bottom. So 7 minus 1 is 6, and 8 minus 2 is 6, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. So there's the slope. So we're going to put that into y equals mx plus b. So that's just x plus b. And then I have to sub in one of these 2 points to solve for b. So I'm going to sub in the 8, 7. I'm going to sub this one in. So 8 and 7. The 7 is the y value. The 8 is the x value. Subtract 8 from both sides. B is equal to negative 1. So therefore the equation of this line is y equals x minus 1. Okay, so now I have 2 equations with the same 2 unknowns. I need to solve this system. I can already see that the y value here is isolated for, so I might as well use substitution and plug it into here. So I'm going to take that x minus 1 and replace it with the y value here. I've got a fraction and I don't like fractions. I want to save some time. So to get rid of that denominator of 2, I'm going to multiply every term by 2. So this leaves me with 2x minus 2. That cancels to leave me with negative x plus 5 times 2 is 10. And now I need to collect my like terms. So I'm going to add x to both sides. That leaves me with 3x minus 2 equals 10. Add 2 to both sides here. 3x equals 12. And then my last step is to divide out that 3x is equal to 4. So there's the x value of my point of intersection here. Now I need to go and find the y value of my point of intersection. So I just go back to one of my equations. Let's use that one. It's nice and easy. Y is equal to x minus 1. My x value is 4. Y is equal to 3. So therefore, the intersection point of the median lines of this triangle is 4, 3.